also being joined right now by Subramanian Swamy, the man of the moment, really. Sir, your case dismissed, your petition dismissed by the trial court judge. We've heard you come out of the court and say that you are disappointed at the day's proceedings and you will actually appeal to a higher court. What is your next strategy right now?
Well, to study the order, I have been briefly through it, and I find surprisingly that Justice Saini has said, yes, Swamy has established that Chidambaram and Raja together decided the 2001 price. That was one of my allegations. And the second allegation is that, yes, he and Chidambaram and Raja together participate to take the decision to dilute the shares so that the Swan Telecom and Unitech could sell at huge profits to Etisalat and Telenor. But he said that doesn't show that Mr. Chidambaram participated with criminal intent. Now, I'm sorry to say that this part of the logic of Mr. Justice Saini I don't agree with, because that is to be done at the trial stage. At this stage, I have to show that there is a prima facie evidence that Mr. Chidambaram and Raja decided together, and in view of the fact that Mr. Raja has been held to be criminally culpable for fixing the price at 2001 and for allowing the share dilution before rollout. Therefore, if Mr. Chidambaram and Raja have participated together to make the decision, it is prima facie obvious that there must be criminality. That I will establish in the trial stage. But unfortunately, the judge has said, has applied the standards of a trial court, trial stage to a prima facie stage, and this is against all judgments of the Supreme Court.
Right.
And therefore, I'll have to appeal. Sometimes lower court judges make mistakes.
We'll get a comment from Harish Salve as well on that. Mr. Salve.
No, I have to leave just now.
No, okay. In that case,
sir,
there's also charges been made against you by the Congress party saying that your entire case is essentially politically motivated, that your reasons to go to the trial court are politically motivated. So your comments to that, we've heard Congress minister after Congress minister they come out and say that.
I think, you see, the Congress people are all illiterates. They don't read Supreme Court judgments. There is a very famous judgment starting from 1992 called the Bhajanlal statement, where the same charge was made by Mr. Bhajanlal, and it was held that a complainant's political animosity or his political leanings have no bearing on when a complaint is presented. We have to go by facts. My facts have not been disputed by Justice Saini. The only question is the interpretation whether I have established criminality or not. And that, in my opinion, is prima facie established by the fact that Mr. Raja has already been held guilty of criminality. And therefore, Mr. Chidambaram, if he is a partner, then it follows that prima facie he is also there unless it is rebutted. And it can be rebutted only in the trial stage. So therefore, having established these facts, none of my facts have been disputed by Justice Saini. Therefore, it doesn't matter whether I have political motives or not. Congress also files cases against opponents. Do we call that politically motivated? Of course, routinely many people say that. But that is not relevant. The relevant is the facts that have been presented. And most of these Congress spokesmen don't do any reading and writing.
Sir, Kapil Sibal said that he is confident, of course, you will appeal to a higher court and the Supreme Court. You will not meet any success over there, and therefore you may even have to appeal to God. This was what Kapil Sibal said a few hours ago, right after the verdict was pronounced.
I'm glad Kapil Sibal has started thinking about God, because he has much to answer. The fact is that many of the things he has said has been now found to be absurd. The zero loss has been found to be absurd. He said he will not cancel licenses because there were only procedural lapses. That has now been found to be absurd in the Supreme Court. So what credibility can Kapil Sibal have? And he told me when I first applied for sanction, who's Swamy to apply? A citizen cannot write to a Prime Minister. Now the court has said, yes, citizens can write to the Prime Minister. He said that I have to go first to the police station and file an FIR, then only I can send a letter for sanction. All these things have been proved to be absurd. So I don't think you should quote Kapil Sibal to me. Please spare all of us this having to respond to jokes.
Right, sir. You said that when you came out of the court, you said that as we said, your initial reaction, you were going to study the order carefully and plan your next stage. Give us a sense of how long you're going to take to figure out what next.
I have 3 months to make up my mind, but I will do it as fast as possible. And I have to also decide whether the Supreme Court order earlier on the monitoring of the CBI, whether they held that I should come directly from Saini's court to the Supreme Court or have to go through the High Court. All these things will be decided in the very near future. And this is not the first time, incidentally, that in a 2G matter I have lost a case and then won it at a higher court. I lost in the High Court on the sanction issue. I lost in the High Court on the license cancelling matter. And Prashant Bhushan lost the monitoring of CBI in the High Court, and he had got it in the Supreme Court. So I think, you know, this is part of the legal process of our democratic country, and therefore, just because of this thing, I don't think anything can be assumed that the matter is over. This is a battle lost, but the war is on.